I've been getting birthday cards from my dead twin for 25 years. Today's card had a photo inside. Every year I get 2 birthday cards. One from my parents, one signed, Love Daniel. Daniel was my twin brother who died in the womb at 6 months. My parents told me about him when I turned 8. The first card arrived on my 10th birthday. White envelope, my name in crayon. Inside was a homemade card with stick figures labeled me and Jacob, signed Happy Birthday from Daniel in shaky handwriting. My parents thought I made it myself, but I knew I hadn't. The cards kept coming every year. The handwriting improved as I got older, like Daniel was aging with me. By 13 it was neat cursive. By 18 it matched my block letters. I never told anyone. What would I say? I collected them in a shoebox and tried not to think about it, but the cards always knew things they shouldn't. When I broke my arm at 16, that year's card said, "Hope your arm heals fast." When I got into State University, it congratulated me specifically on State, even though I'd kept my choice secret. Last year's card was different. Almost time for us to meet, Jacob. One more year. I've been dreading my 25th birthday. Today, this morning's card was heavier than usual. Black envelope, my name in red ink. Inside, "Happy birthday, Jacob. Look at what you could have been." Underneath was a photograph. The photo showed someone who looked exactly like me, but wrong. Same face and build, but pale, translucent skin with dark veins visible underneath. His smile was too wide, teeth too sharp. He stood in what looked like my childhood bedroom, but the walls were covered in photos of me at every age. In the background were my parents, looking 10 years younger, smiling at this pale version like he was their favorite child. I flipped the photo. Written on back, "Mom and Dad kept my room exactly the same. Come visit tonight at midnight. It's time to switch places." I called my parents. "Mom, did you keep a room for Daniel?" Long pause. "Jacob, why would you ask that? Just answer me. We don't talk about Daniel. It's too painful." But her voice sounded like she was lying. I drove to their house and used my old key. Upstairs, what had always been Dad's office was now a bedroom. Twin bed, baseball posters, homework spread on a desk. The homework was in Daniel's handwriting, but for classes I'd taken, assignments I remembered doing. On the nightstand was a family photo. Mom, Dad, and me. Except in this photo, I looked like the pale, wrong version from the card. Standing next to me was a normal-looking version of myself. My parents had their arms around the normal version. They barely touched the pale me. I heard the front door open. "Jacob, is that you?" I grabbed the photo and ran downstairs. My parents stood in the living room looking older, tired, like they'd been carrying a terrible weight. "Why do you have a bedroom for Daniel?" I demanded, showing them the photo. Dad went white. "Where did you get that?" "From his room that you've kept for 25 years. Mom started crying. "We thought if we kept everything normal, you wouldn't notice." "Notice what?" "You're Daniel," Dad whispered. "Jacob died in the womb, but Daniel somehow survived by taking Jacob's place. We've been raising the wrong twin for 25 years. I stared at them. "That's impossible." "Look at yourself," Mom said through tears. "You've never looked quite right. Too pale, too cold. You don't show up clearly in photos. Animals run from you." She was right. I'd always been sickly, always cold. Dogs whimpered when they saw me. In family photos, I looked blurred, like I was moving while standing still. "The real Jacob has been trying to contact you," Dad continued. "Those cards aren't from Daniel. They're from Jacob trying to get his life back." I looked at the photo again. The pale figure wasn't Daniel. It was me. "He's been waiting 25 years to switch back," Mom said. "Tonight's his birthday, too." My reflection in the living room mirror was starting to fade. I could see through myself to the wall behind me. "He's coming back," Dad said, "and you're taking his place." The clock chimed midnight. The front door opened by itself, and I heard normal, warm, living footsteps. When I turned around, I was looking at myself, but this version had color in his cheeks, warmth in his eyes, a smile that wasn't too wide. "Thanks for keeping my life safe, Daniel," he said in my voice, "but I'll take it back now." I tried to scream, but no sound came. I was fading, being pulled toward whatever cold place the real Jacob had been trapped in for 25 years. The last thing I saw was my parents hugging him, crying with relief, finally holding their real son.